Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Obviously life gets in the way lots at the minute, but I get a lot of questions on Instagram regarding the Instagrid. So this one's a bit of info about the Instagrid. Now what I've done to test it, or should I say what people keep asking, is how long does it last, how long does it charge, and vice versa. So this one's the one model. Now I've unboxed a brand new ESAB 215 on it, which I find that'll probably reduce it more than most. Now what I can tell you up to now is the J6, so the MiG the MiG 200, the TIG 200. I've measured it, I've welded, and for 100% duty cycle, the Instagrid I work it out at 105 amp. The Instagrid lasts an hour. And that's how I've worked it out. So rough. So obviously, if you're doing 150 amp, it'll be a bit less than an hour. And it charged, this one fully charged at 2 hours 46 minutes. Now, these guys, Ultra Welding in Manchester, they've been kind enough to obviously loan me this one because it's not mine. But obviously, this one goes on site, so I'm not so sure how the battery reduces, how many charges, how many guys have obviously used this before, but I'm thinking of getting one, and the reason being, not as much as I do mobile. I mean, I keep knocking back the mobile stuff, but obviously I have these two quite beastly Tetrixes. Now through winter time, something like that, I want to be able to run this garage off one of these, and believe it or not, it does it, because I'm not here long because it's too cold. So if you jump onto Insta, you'll see kind of the stuff that I make. Now this thing even runs, I mean, I'll give you a bit of an insight. So obviously you've got your 16 amp socket and you've got your 13 amp. Now this thing will run the 250 amp J6 single phase off one of them. You can link them together, and obviously you've probably done the research with them that you can, with so many you can get three phase. Obviously with this ESAB 215, it's a 240 amp machine, so pretty much anyone with single phase garage, you max out at 250 amp, but which is more than ample for what I weld, to be fair, because obviously any thicker than that I'll just use that for stick weld. Now with this one here, obviously I think they brought a Go model out now, which is the 110 for sight. So what I intend to do the best I can without leaving the video running is I'm going to weld as much as I can with that ESAB to give you a rough idea when the bars start knocking down. Now what I have done previously is I can connect my Hypertherm 45 sync onto that. I can run, it'll run my compressor, my 90 litre, I think that's about a 15 CFM. It keeps up with my Hypertherm. Now I get about 40 minutes, but it runs a CNC. Now you can put them on blocks. So because I know the box of the CNC electrics, I'll just run it off the power, but I know it will run. So that opens up for me, especially a few years ago when I did all the CNC cutting for different people, and I wanted to cut shapes out like in the back of the van. That thing will allow me to do that. Not so long, but then again, like I said, it's an under 3 hour charge, so with it being not that busy, I can charge it with the inverter in the van anyway, and then I'm back up and running. But I can run, if I put the compressor on the same block as this CNC and have the laptop, that it doesn't cut off, it'll run it, which is pretty good, and it's probably better than any generator, to be fair. I mean, I don't want a petrol generator in here, awful. I mean, that's on now and it's silent. I live, obviously you can see the garage is pretty compact in here, but I have got next doors. Can't run one of them. If I come home from work at night, a lot of my work is done at night, so I can't afford a diesel generator. It's not worth it. These guys, obviously, I get them, if you do want one of them, I get them cheaper than anything that you see online. So if you guys see this video and you fancy one of them, I won't put the prices on because it'll upset people, but if you want to DM me, I'll give you my price through my supplier, which I never really advertise stuff like that, but all the welders that you see here and all the welders on the P56, if anyone wants to weld or anything like that, if you DM me, I'll beat anyone across Europe. with a chunk. So like I say, moving on from that, if that's what you want to do, because more people ask how I get them. I do pay. I don't get these for free, but I get them obviously slightly reduced, depending on how much work, obviously in trials and demos that I do with them. But seriously, if everyone's after any machines, anything like that, I'll beat anyone across Europe with quite a bit really. So that's that. So what I'm going to do, obviously I can't leave the video running what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to set the ESAB, I'll give it a fair go, because I'm going to set it about probably 105 amp. I'll set it on some 2mm, and I'm going to weld out, and I'll give you roughly, again, but I would suspect it's going to be about the same, which is probably looking about an hour at 100 amp, which I think is, well, don't forget that as well as the 100% duty cycle as well, that's non-stop, and no one really welds like that. So like if I'm building these CNC machines here, there's no way you're going to hit the duty cycle. So my calculations, is I can build X amount, like tables like that and stuff like that, and the CNC. I reckon that I could probably build 6 or 7 of them off one charge, which is bloody not bad, do you know what I mean, at all. Now, I've had the cooler running on standby on the big EWM there. Now, I can weld on them little model art stuff. I can pretty much weld all night, and it knocks it to half a bar. Now, don't forget, I've got the water cooler running pretty much constant with that. Yeah, it's still sucking power on standby while I'm measuring up when I'm cutting. So I'll just leave that on, and then obviously I'll do what I need to do. Now I get roughly off that on the EWM about 3 hours. So if you're tigging, I mean, I've not done the one without the cooler on that one, but my guess is if you go into site, that will be ample. I would have said for a lot of people. I mean, obviously if you're welding bulldozers, tracks and stuff like that, you're constant, then obviously it's, you know what I mean, your Shindewa generators, I suppose, a way to go. But this is not, I don't think one of these is going to take over one of those. These makes it available for a lot of people to do a bit of mobile stuff. If you're repairing stuff, light stuff, building stuff, they're ideal. Plus, I'll not give you the price on that one, but when you do a search on retail and you come up with a price, yeah, they're nowhere near that. I can certainly beat that. So I'll knock the video off a bit. What I'm going to do as much as messing around as I can with it on here. I might even split it to 2 vids and not charge it up, yeah, because I'm not going to cheat, because I don't need to cheat with it. It's late at night, so I'm going to weld all the bits up on the MIG. I'm going to set it all up on the MIG. I'm going to leave it currently on, and then maybe tomorrow weekend I'll leave it same charge, and then I'll do a bit of stick welding. And that's another thing as well. I'm okay with TIG, very good on TIG. I'm not bad on MIG, but I'm shocking at stick, and it's something that I want to kind of get by. Now, I've looked at this lot as well on my welder, because don't forget, I pay electric bill just like everybody else. And I look at the smart meter reading when I put a kettle on, when I put the dryer on, blah blah blah. Now, charging this up is kind of a bit less than doing a kettle, really. Yeah, it's on for 2 hours, but judging cost wise, I think to charge, I work it out about £4.90. It costs me to charge it. So when you think about the £4.90, yeah, it'll soon, like if I'm not turning the power on here for me, yeah, it's certainly getting cost effective. And like I said, might have a bash in the garden with some stick weld, and I'm always worried about that, because I tend to think that does suck out power. So what I'll probably do is do some stick welding in the garden, take them both out in the garden, and just have a mess around. I've got some 8-10mm stuff, and then I'm going to just run some stick beads and give you at the end my honest opinion. And then any questions, obviously, you know what I mean, you can ask. So knock it off. I'll let us do a bit of playing, and we'll come back to it. Right, guys, I've done a bit of just absolutely like tuning it in, fillet welds, a ton of spot welds, quite a lot of stuff now. When I time stamped this, it was 1750, and it's 20, so it's half an hour. Now that's set at 105 amp, because that's like 1.5 up to 2 mil. So I've done like what I kind of do, you know what I mean. There's probably enough fillet wells in that lot to probably do half a table, maybe. But on top of that, that's what we're gunning at, guys. So half an hour. So that's like fitting, because you'll have fitting, you've got cutting. Now I've not turned the welder off of that, so it's running constantly. And as you can see, the first bar is it's starting to dim, and that's half an hour. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to obviously it's getting late for me. I've got stuff to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that off now. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to charge it, guys. And then the next time I get a bit of a minute, I'm going to give it another half an hour, and then I'm going to keep on doing it until that's flattened, because obviously I'll never just flatten it in one go. So I'm going to do a bit of MIG. I'll do the rest of MIG with it. I'm going to probably get some thicker steel out actually, and I'll tell you the amps accordingly, and I'll run them, and then we'll have a mess with the stick. So as you can see, that constantly you've got the fitting table. So you're looking, I mean, I bet a decent job will just flatten two of them all. So it's they're pretty good, to be fair, General, I must admit. And I'm even thinking one to kind of run one in the never mind going out. I think for obviously the cost I pay for them over maybe probably 2 years, that will probably pay for itself rather than use my Garage Electric compared to electric bill. So that's how I'm looking at it, and if I can get some mobile working and help people out, then even a bit of a bonus. But that's kind of half an hour, and I've not really dipped about either. I've not like had any pauses, to be fair with that. I've just literally cut a lot of scrap, done probably 30, 40 tack wells, which you would do if people's doing it car body stuff like that, which is ample. And then the rest I've been trying to tune it in, because I've not MIG for quite a while. So as you can see, I'm not. They're my MIG wells, quite thin. You know what I mean? I'll probably tune it in a little bit better than that, but I'm mainly TIG guy. So I'm going to keep on playing with that, and then I'll add the video in the end, and then it's up to you. It gives you a bit of a, you know what I mean, realistic view on what it does, rather than obviously read the figures online, because you know what they're like online. They always, I wouldn't say exaggerate, but they you know what I mean, they have to sell them, so they have to say what they want. Whereas me here, as you've probably seen some of my channels, I don't bullshit. I'll say it how it is. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why people keep asking me why I've changed from some of the Jasics, blah blah blah, this, that, the other. Jasics, absolutely excellent machines. TIG wise, non-beat CWMs still. You know, I swapped over to them quite a while, and nothing even comes close to it. Whether it's Fronius, Kemp, they don't come well. I've not tried. Kemp is the only machines I've not used, and the reason being is I take these ESABs, to be fair, and obviously my guys, they're ESAB service agents, so I've got no problem. I don't listen to bullshit on the internet going, oh, can't fix this, can't fix that. It's bullshit. Depends where you buy it from. If that goes faulty, I can probably use it, have it fixed within 2 days. You know what I mean? You know, they'll probably lend me one as well. So when I read all the negatives about this, that, and the other, then nah. EWM, really, really good. I can speak to EWM. I can speak to the engineers. The main guy down there, really, really helpful. The engineers, really, really helpful. Hence why I ended up with them. Kempe, I've asked about Kempe, but apparently I can't. What was his words? Even if I buy it with my own money, I'm not allowed to say any hurty words. Which, what a lot of bullshit. So, which I know the way that's all, I went, leave it, will not buy Kempe. So, you know what I mean, if I buy them, I want to view it, and I want to say what I really think, for the supplier to come out and say, I don't mind him selling one, but you can't go online with it, and you can't say this, you can't say that. Nah, I'd sooner not have one in. And that's why a lot of people come to me, and I'm deadly honest. I've tried every machine, and like I said to the guys, Fronius ones, they're alright, but the customer service is absolutely toss. Now, if you want to wait weeks and weeks and weeks, fix, crack on. So I think combination of the welder and go from there, then obviously the EWM, yeah, you pay a bit of a premium, and there's a lot of comments as well I get, because it's quite funny actually, especially Facebook. They have a high amount of Artec fanboys on there. Now again, Artec, many years ago now I tried Artec, and I think I went through 3 machines in a week. I was sick of seeing the DPD guy. Now don't get me wrong, the customer service guys are the customer service guys at the time were really good, and probably the best customer service guys about bar none. However, probably because they're good at it, and that's all I'm going to say. Generally speaking, I'll judge all the machines that I've had and over the years. I'll judge the machine on how I don't use customer service. That will tell me how good a machine is, because if I never have to ring them, then they're doing something right, before people add the comments like the other one. So what I'll do, guys, I'll knock it off now. Like I said, I'm not going to mess about, and then I'm going to continue, even if it takes a week, and then I'm going to add it all up at the end, and I'll give you the honest view. But as it is at the minute, the pretty decent bit of kit. So I'll see you shortly, guys, and like I say, I think next day or so, a couple of days after my day off, I'll crack back on it. It's a full day, and I'll try and flatten it in a day if I can, and give you guys the real world usage. Okay, guys, speak to you soon. Right, guys, welcome back. As promised, I've had another do this morning. Now, as you can see, I got a bit bored of the sheet. There's more metal outside. But I've literally took the ESAB pretty much maximum settings, so rather than mess around with 100 amp, I've been max with the ESAB, and I've probably done another 40 minutes, but non-stop, because again, what I try to do, because everyone again asks me about these ESABs, and I'll be honest, on the single phase stuff, probably the best. I mean, they're a 240 amp machine, so getting 7mm, 8mm, you know what I mean, you can. And obviously when I see them runs there, I mean, I've got fillet wells on fillet wells there, because obviously I don't want to use massive amount of steel. The bigger sections are outside, and I welded them full of rust. I tried to stick weld for you guys, but like I was saying in the last vid, I'm pretty shit at stick weld. I need to get some practice. So like I said, I'm not greatest at MIG, but they're MIG, so at least, do you know what I mean, at least they're probably better than some guys, but I don't claim to be a MIG guy. So like I said, I've literally took 40 minutes of doing 8mm, line after line after line, and you know what, the ESAB never hit its duty cycle, never mind the Insta. So I do like this model. I say there was a few issues, customer saying with customer service and this breaking, that breaking, but I've never had. I mean, obviously I took this out of the box. We're going to give the guys have given me this a trial, but I've had these before, and I've never hit a duty cycle. And as you guys previously follow me, I had the 205, the AC/DC. They're all right, very good. But obviously, I couldn't see the point of having an AC when I've got them two, because nothing will beat them six. So anyway, back to the Instagrid, guys. So as we left off, I think it was last time, we used 1 bar. So we've got, if you look at the 3rd bar, for me, just starting to dim. Right, so we're 2 sections off the Instagrid. So judging from last time, that's done an hour. Do you know what I mean? And this morning I've been literally running one after the other. That's not 100 amps, so perhaps even a bit better than what I thought. So you will definitely get a day's job out of that. I mean, for the future, we'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, there's still a lot of money for me. I can get them a massive book cheaper than what you can guys get them online, but they are still obviously a bit of chunk of money, and I'm just thinking of getting one in here just to save the power. But like I was discussing before, if you're making like tables and stuff like that, easily in the day, and I'd still commit as well. When I look at that, I could probably 6. Probably if you cut everything and you don't have it on standby, my guess you may even get 6 tables from it. But like I said, every welder's different. They will do, you know what I mean. There's the single phase guys. One, I think it's ample for if yours guys nipping out, repairing a gate, repairing fencing, repairing that. You'll not beat it, and obviously quite. Do you know what I mean? There's no hassle with mess with petrol, won't start, diesel, dirty, noisy. So I just think that's the way moving forward, chaps. And that's it for today. It was just to give you a rundown of people saying, oh, I get this and I get that, and what you're getting. So there you go, guys. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've welded everything that I need. Now there's all the metal outside and what's on the table there. For me personally, that's enough weld to repair any gate. To be fair, for you know what I mean, from normal. I'm not talking about big industrial one. That's different. If you know what I mean, if you welding JCB buckets up the full length day after day after day, then obviously, you know what I mean, your Shindowers. But other than that, anyone looking to power like a normal MIG for the mobile welding guys, you just won't beat one of those, to be fair. And what I also can tell you is when I turned it on this morning, I think it was Thursday, we're now Tuesday on the day off, and it hadn't lost a cent. So now what you can get on this, now I don't have the option of this, but you can connect it by Bluetooth on your telephone, and you can get the Instagrid app, and it will tell you everything regarding the power drain, what you've used. I think it's what you've got left, what you've used, and the location of it. Now obviously, because these ultra welding guys in Manchester, they're kind enough to lend, I mean they'll lend anything you want me to try, I'll lend them guys. And obviously if you are near Manchester, they're the guys to go to. But they have it registered to their device, so I think they can see what's happening even when it's here. So obviously it's not registered to me. I think you've got to register it, and then you've got to do the QR code at the back. But obviously if I did buy one, and then I can obviously register it to me. So you've got that added thing, guys. Now if you've got any questions, obviously please ask regarding the Insta. I'll do my best, you know what I mean, to try. I mean, like I said, I'm only a smallish outfit. I can't lie, I'm going to do the best with gas, and gas, everything's going up, you know what I mean. All that scrap metal is, for me, I make stuff out of the scrap metal, so I can't just obviously pack it, you know what I mean, waste away. But if you've got any questions of any of my Insta stuff, the welders, anything you want me to try, and I can get here and try for you, you know what I mean, absolutely by all means. So, again, the welders, I hope that answers some questions about the ESAB. So the service centre, it depends where you buy it from. I'll be honest. If I bought this and this went faulty, and I rung the guys, within 2 weeks they probably swap it out for me. I'll be honest. But I reckon it's about a 2-day fix. Again, if you see what's in the garage, I've got the bigger 250 Jasic. They're the best for bulk at the minute. If you go onto Facebook Marketplace, I think you'll see unlisted there that will come directly from Jasic, which again I think they're about 700 quid cheaper than anybody else at the minute. They've got the 4 roller, but anything that you do fancy that you've seen here or you want me to get hold of, I can get hold of, guys. So anyway, that's it with the Insta. If you've got any questions with that or you want one, send us a DM, and I'll get you quite a lot of money off then if you want one. Quite a lot, I think. I mean, I didn't really like discussing price really, to be fair, on YouTube, but I can get a bit off, more than what you think. So that's it, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Hi guys, sorry I'm back because I couldn't resist. So what I've been doing some stick welding. Like I said, I was shit at it, so but I've been having a mess. Some metal outside, burnt through 21 rods, and the Instagrid is half. So and that literally, I've not turned that off all day. That's literally been turned on all day. So I switched out from the ESAB and I'm running this Tetrix because the Stinger wasn't long enough. So like I said, absolutely messing about. Burnt 21, 60-13 rods, messing around. I'm getting better. It's still fucking up, that. But I can show you my last one. I did. Maybe not. Oh yeah, there. That's the very last one. So I'm happy with that. Really, bit more practice needed. However, well, so that's it, guys. You know what I mean? I cut it off short before, and I just thought I'd add this one just so you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, bang on half. And with that as well, I've charged all my wheel walkie stuff. So all the batteries, I've charged 8 batteries. Well, I've charged 8, whatever, 5 ampere M18s, and I've charged 10 of the M12s. Yeah, done the stuff this morning, done the metal, done all them. That's from leading off from yesterday, and then I've just literally, because I've had time and it's nice outside for a change, I've just literally just rod after rod after rod. Not rushing my eyes, just get better. My eyes are fucked now, so it's tea time. So that's it, guys. So I'll be honest with you, it's pretty good. So if that will burn, I mean, it will what? So it's used. Say it's used 1 bar to burn 21 rods. So that's my experience with the Instagrid, guys. That's it. Any questions, please ask, and I hope this has shed some light on it rather than guessing what time, you know what I mean, how long you get from them. This is real world kind of thing. Okay, guys, see you next time.